They would take me out, and if I didn't want to go, they would beat me. They would rape me. They would put me on the corner and sell me. And I can remember the first time that it happened. The guy took me to Clausen Motel, and he said, "You are so young. Why are you doing this?" And all I could think was, I'm not doing this. You're doing this. You're doing this to me. I'm not the one that's given the choice. You're doing this.
You probably see a victim of human trafficking every week in your day-to-day activities, but you don't know it when you see it.
They held me in a house. I slept in a back room on a mattress, a bare mattress on the floor. There were bars on the windows. I was lucky if I got to eat macaroni. I was never even allowed outside. There was a woman in the house, and she would watch me. So you never knew what was going to happen. I mean, I never knew if I was going to get to eat. I never knew if I was going to be taken out. I never knew if I was going to be beaten. I never knew.
National Center of Missing Exploited Children, they're telling us between 100 and 300,000 U.S. kids are moved into the sex industry every year here in the United States. And the sad, shocking part that we've learned is that they're very young. Average age of prostitution now around the world is 14. Average age when girls are recruited here in the United States has dropped now under the age of 13 to 12 and a half.
I ran away from home the first time when I was 14. Lived on the streets for a little bit. Ended up going back home. Was put in foster care. When I went back into foster care the second time, they put me in a group home. I met a girl and her name was Michelle. We decided that we were going to run away. So in Oklahoma City, we got together and we ran away, and she had some family that lived up here, she said. And it was her sister, and her sister was involved with the Crips gang. So they left me with them. They just up and left me the first day. They just made me be a prostitute. I was 16, 17 when this happened.
We really see this as a supply and demand issue. It's economics. The demand has really created the supply, and that's really kind of how they evaluate everything, and it becomes very reasonable in seeing that. So basically the State Department set up different countries as source countries or the destination demand countries. America is a supply, a source, a destination, a transit country. We're doing all of it.
I got into a car, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. I got into the car, and the guy reaches over and he touches my leg, and he says, "We're gonna go have some fun." In that very minute, in my heart of heart, in my soul of souls, to the very being that I am, I knew he was gonna kill me. I knew it. I mean, I can still feel it today. I knew it. And I looked down the road, and there was an accident that was being worked by the police. And we were coming up to a intersection. And I reached for the door handle and it wasn't locked. And when he took off, I jumped out of the car. And that was how I got away. But I knew he was going to kill me. I knew it.
FBI set up with our vice unit teams of the Oklahoma City Police Department monitoring their truck stop industry where girls are being forced to prostitute there. They learned so much. It's very shocking for them. They learned how young they were, what kind of the idea was that when you're passing through this nation in the industry, that this is one of the crossroads with the I-35, I-40, and 44. You could either go north through Kansas City and get some good barbecue, was kind of the idea with the truckers, or you could go through the southern route through Oklahoma City and get young girls.
Oklahoma is one of the top 5 states. It's happening right here. It's a big issue for us. Letting them know that their kids are at risk and making them realize how badly they're at risk is the best thing that Oath can do, and that's what we're here for.
Oath, Oklahomans Against Trafficking Humans. We're an organization, we're a nonprofit 501c3, we're a charitable organization with education, networking, awareness aspects is what we're trying to do, help people understand what is human trafficking, what it looks like globally, but also what it looks like nationally and here in our own state, in our own backyard. So awareness, education, networking with partners. We work with the State Department's rescue and restore operations. So a big part of our mission is identifying, finding victims of human trafficking here in Oklahoma, getting them into services where they can receive help that they need and become restored survivors.
I left a job to become a domestic violence sexual assault case manager and went to one of Mark Elam's conferences. And it was only at that time that I realized what had actually happened to me. I had the epiphany of, oh my God, this is actually what it was. This was what was done to me. I was kidnapped, I was enslaved, I was sold, I was used. So the healing for that was it was amazing. It was amazing because I no longer had that shame. I no longer felt that. And I realized that it was going to be okay.
So you have layers of trauma, psychological coercion and abuse and torture issues. So when we find this girl and we reach out to her and we say, we're an organization that wants to help get you back, your life back in education, maybe spiritual recovery, get you with a counselor, a case manager, even law enforcement would like to work with you if you want justice to be served. We've tried to offer everything that we can so that she can get her life back and move forward.
We get typically one of 2 reactions. We get, oh my gosh, what can I do? This is, we tug at their hearts and it just draws them in and they're like, I want to do something now, what can I do? Or we get that can't happen here, that's not here, no.
It happens in Oklahoma City, it happens at 13th and McKinley, it happens on Young Boulevard, it happens at McKinley Park, it happens on 1800 Park Street where I was held, it happens.
The #1 way sexual predators find kids nowadays is online social networking. The network online is the new playground for today's generation. I grew up playing outside and my daughters grew up watching television. Today's kids are growing up gamers, online chat rooms in that community, and they have hundreds of friends. There's also an opportunity, because it's an unmonitored, unsecure playground, where predators can come in there and pretend to be somebody they're not, trick young girls and boys and talk them out of their homes into all types of exploitation.
And that's horrible. Such a advance in technology to be such a powerful source for bad in this world.
We really want to bring awareness about this to our schools, to the children, to the educators, specifically to the parents and grandparents that are responsible for overseeing or looking out in this new playground. How to open your own Facebook account and be friends with your kids online and play games with them online, how to get into that world where they are, and to make sure that there's not a bad guy that has come into your child's playground or to their area, of chatting and gaming, that may be trying to take advantage of them. When we think about the complexity of what it is that we want to accomplish here in Oklahoma to serve these victims, to find them, to identify them, to service their needs, we have so many areas where organizations, agencies, churches, individuals can help. and we really want you to help in your field of expertise. So if you're not maybe law enforcement or mental health or a licensed specialist, how can you help? You know, we're working with the Attorney General to set up safe homes around the community and around the state. It's almost like a foster care type program in that your home would be available for an individual to say as a safe place while she's going to her different appointments and doctors and education. There's other opportunities for outreach, for research. You know, we have college students that do literature, take out literature and hang up posters and flyers and put up phone numbers in women's bathrooms across the state. We have individuals that help us with fundraisers and awareness events where they show maybe a documentary on human trafficking, or have a poetry slam at the coffee shop, or do some fundraiser to help us with a different project.
This is my calling, I think, at least at this point in my life, to help these girls, and the fact that just freedom. I never realized, you know, we take everything we do for granted, and once I realized that these girls had no choice, I was just like, no, I'm gonna value everything I get to do. I'm gonna value the guys I get to date. I'm gonna value getting to work where I want, you know. I'm gonna make that an impact in my life.
Don't turn a blind eye. Become educated. Education and people standing up and speaking out and saying that it is the abomination that it is what will help to stop it.